Hi guys, Julia here from JM Squared Vintage. Welcome back to the channel. I am here today with the first half of like a mega haul. I just got back from Philadelphia where I was visiting family, having a little holiday fun time, and if you guys are new here, my mom sources all year long. She is the original thrifter. She is the person who taught me how to thrift. She goes to the bins, she sources around there and finds some great stuff. I always find it interesting to see the kind of stuff that she finds there versus what I find here, because it's vastly different. Oh, and I also, because I can't help myself, stopped at the thrift store this week just because I had a craving to go. So I got a few pieces from that. I'll show those at the end, mostly because that bag is on the bottom of my stack of bags and I'm not gonna change it around. So before we get started here, guys, if this is your first time here, if this is your first time stumbling on my channel, first and foremost, welcome. I am Julia. That is my name. We talk all things thrifting and vintage and the business of reselling on the internet. If that sounds like something that you might be into, consider hitting subscribe down below. I would love to have you along on this journey. But without further ado, guys, we have a lot to get through. The whole haul, I think I had 98 pieces that I brought back from Philly, and that includes a few pieces that we found when she and I went to the bins while I was home, and mostly things that she found. And then I think I've got about 5 pieces that I found at the thrift this week. So that being said, we've got a lot to talk about. So why don't you go grab yourself a snack, grab yourself a drink. You know I've got my matcha latte. So sit back, relax, and let's get into the goods. So the first thing we're gonna pick up here is something that is 100% a style pickup. This is from Cider. So Cider is just a little like fast fashion brand. They're not super expensive. I wanna say that these were probably like 30, 35 bucks, but I just thought that they were so cute. They're these little patchwork, kind of flare leg pants, zip closure. They're a size small. Am I gonna get a ton of money for these? No, but I just thought that they were so cute. I'll probably see like 15 bucks for them. And the bins that my mom goes to are super, super cheap. I think that they just raised the price to like $1.80 per pound, and it was lower than that before. So these probably cost like 25 or 50 cents. You know, they're super, super lightweight. Next up, this is a little swim cover up, and we are really about to be in the time of year that swim cover ups and stuff like this start to move really well from resale, because a lot of people are going on beach vacations, spring break, etc. And you can't really go into stores and buy this kind of stuff until summertime. This is just a little embroidered mesh swim cover up, roll up sleeves with this kind of like crinkle chiffon panel on the side. It's really, really cute. I'm gonna say that this is probably about a size medium. Again, there's no tags in here at all, but again, probably somewhere 15 to 20 bucks on this. Super cute though, and in fantastic condition. Oh, so this one's a gem. So my mom did not know this designer at all, but she picked it up just because it felt really special. So the sleeves are silk and the body is like a lightweight flannel. Look at that collar, isn't that darling? So this is from Sandro, if you're seeing that tag. Sandro is a very expensive brand. This probably retailed like $300 to $400. I'm really gonna have to keyword this cleverly because this is such an interesting blend. Like it's a very kind of rustic look. This feels like such a unique thing. So like I used to live in the mountains of Utah, and Park City is like the big ski town there. If you ever go to like a function in Park City, typically you're never gonna see like cocktail attire or like formal attire. It's just not practical in a ski town that is often snowy and icy and whatever. So you'll see a term that says mountain chic. And this feels like mountain chic. This is something that somebody would wear to like a fancy function in Park City with the Sorel wedge boots. What I'm getting to is mountain chic. When you have something like this, again, it's a very specific look, but mountain chic is a keyword that you should consider using if you have something that looks like it could be going to like a charity event in a ski town. I know it's niche, but like people actually do search for that. Next up, we've got a great little bread and butter. This is a Chico's linen shirt. This linen is in gorgeous condition. It's like 3/4 length sleeve. It's a Chico's size 4, which I believe is a 2XL or 3XL. I think that's 2XL, but it's a great little basic, again, great color, in fantastic condition. And Chico's is one of those brands that I generally stay away from unless it's like size large, extra large, and up. The plus sizes tend to sell much, much better than the smaller sizes. Although when I do find something exceptional, I will grab it, but I don't see much plus size Chico's out here at all. But my mom does tend to find a lot of it where she is, but gorgeous little thing. I'll probably see somewhere between like 25 and 32 on this. It's about what I see for pieces like this. Next up, she found this cute little top. This is from Maeve. This is like a thicker slub knit body and it's slimmer fit. It's size medium and it's got these really fun, like, this is like an oversized Swiss dot. I guess this would be considered like a clip dot netting blouson sleeve. So lots of keywords that I can use with this, even like a going out top. This is like a wintertime going out top, but super cute little boho top. Again, it's just like a basic with a little bit of interest with these sleeves. I thought this was so cute. And I'll see probably somewhere like $20 to $25 on this. More significant pieces from Maeve will typically go like $25 and up, depending on what it is that I have. But more basic pieces like this, you're gonna see kind of like, you know, probably in that $20 to $25 range. Next up, we've got another cute little piece from J. Jill. I thought this was so cute. So this is lightweight cotton. It's a size small, but it's this beautiful cotton lawn, and look at the shape of these sleeves. I kind of love this little detail where you have it kind of pleated in on the top and it puffs out a little bit like right here. I think that that's a really interesting detail. And if you look around the midsection here, there's a little bit of gentle darting. So while this is kind of a boxy shaped blouse, you do have a little bit of that shaping from those darts. Super, super cute. Great condition. Again, for something like this is less significant from J. Jill, probably somewhere between like 20 to 30 bucks on this. It is small, so it might take it a little bit longer to sell. J. Jill, just like Chico's, is one of those brands that I try to pick up in the larger sizes, but this was just too cute. Next up, we've got this cute shirt. So this is from Anna and Frank. This is vintage for sure. And it's this kind of butter yellow, 100% silk. Anna and Frank is like, that's what they do. They do silk. At least everything that I've ever seen from them has been a silk blouse, but it's this kind of like safari style with the chest flap pockets and the spread collar. It's like a little cabana shirty, but I think a little bit more towards the safari shirt. I'll probably use both as keywords because they're both applicable. It is a size extra large and this is in like flawless condition. Pretty much every Anna and Frank shirt that I've ever had has sold between like 30 and 40 bucks. I've never had one that's this kind of boxy. This one feels a little bit more casual versus the other ones that I've had. And I don't want that to sound like the other ones that I've had are like formal, but they feel a little bit more like I'm wearing these to the office, where this feels more like a weekend shirt. But with the color being butter yellow, which is still very hot right now, and the kind of boxy fit and the safari flavor to it, these are all things that are selling points right now. But yeah, somewhere probably between that like $30 to $40 range. So pretty, like perfect condition, like flawless condition. Next up, this was a little style pickup and another one that has had a tag and the tag had been removed. So I did photograph it. I haven't done any like Google image searches. I'm wondering if I'll be able to figure out who this was, but it's this beautiful like royal purple. It's funny, I'm looking at it on the monitor and it looks, but this is definitely purple. And it's got these 3/4 length kind of wider sleeves with a little chunky button detail, and you know, this is a very like log and look silhouette, right? So it's got this kind of exaggerated cowl neck. This is really hard to show when you don't have like a body under it. And this really drapey fit. I'm not sure about the fabric. I think that this is probably like a cotton rayon blend, but it has a little bit of a crinkle like a gauze. So again, lots of stuff that I can keyword this with. I'd love to figure out who made this, but even like with no brand and just using style keywords, I'll probably see somewhere between like 20 and 30 bucks on this. It is very, very cute. So it's got that little kick pleat there in the back for movement. So very, very breezy, but you know, boho, log and look, artsy. This kind of fits in all of those categories. So should sell fairly well. I just think it's so pretty. I think I need to do a little work with my camera to figure out why this looks so blue and not purple. Still figuring out cameras, guys. It's a whole thing. All right, next up, this is just a little flannel shirt from LL Bean. These are the kind of things, if you are buying flannel shirts, like if you are buying a workwear shirt, look no further than LL Bean. They just last forever. This is just their like classic relaxed fit plaid shirt. I've had several of these. I still have 2 in my closet that are in like regular rotation. These are the things that I throw on when I'm working out in the yard, and they are built to take abuse. Now, I want to say that they go for like 45 or 50 bucks a piece, but I also haven't bought them in a while. They go for about 60 bucks a piece now. And on the resale market, I'll get probably between like 18 to 24 on them. That's about what I've gotten from some of my older shirts that no longer fit me. Also, I think it's really funny that I searched for this and you have the Google shopping results up top and it's showing me like the LL Bean men's flannel, and then the next one, as if it's relevant for somebody looking for an LL Bean flannel, is a Celine, and then the next result over is a Celine button-down flannel that looks just like an LL Bean flannel. That is $3,300. As if that would be relevant for somebody who's looking for like an LL Bean $60 flannel. Google? I guess I do search high-end brands all the time, but like that, that tickled my funny bone. Next up, oh, this was so funny. Okay, so this is a cute little button-down, funky, art-to-wear, artsy cardigan from Parsley and Sage. I thought it was so cute. I think that the pattern is so interesting. You can probably see it a little bit better here on the back. Just these little boxes in different shapes and orientations. It's asymmetric. And the points of the hem where the jacket comes together are asymmetric. We've got these, again, kind of wide, chunky sleeves, that funky little button there. And something like this, I'll probably get, again, between like 25 and 32 on it. I don't see a ton of Parsley and Sage stuff, but all of the stuff that I found and the stuff I see when I'm kind of searching around, it's all funky. I kind of love it. I love the style. But when I went to the thrift store this week, I saw the exact same top hanging on the racks. Now, it was full price at whatever it was, like $8.99, so I didn't get it when I had this one sitting at home. But I just thought that that was really funny because Parsley and Sage is like a kind of a niche brand. It's not huge. And to find like the exact same unusual top twice effectively in 1 week, I feel like I should have gone and bought a lottery ticket. You know what I'm saying? It was definitely just an unusual moment. Of all things to see duplicates of, that's the last thing I expected. Next up, this is one that my mom found at the bins while she and I were there together. And she picked it up because she loved the feel of the fabric and she loved the pattern. And typically when we go, we'll just kind of throw everything into a basket and we'll kind of go through everything at the end and throw back what we don't want. And I think we only left with like 4 items. I want to say that we spent like under $5. It was kind of wild knowing like the per pound prices here in California. But when I looked at it, I'm like, oh, this is really nice. You know, I was gonna grab it, but it's from Peruvian Connection. And this is a brand I have never gotten my hands on ever. And you know, I'm not gonna see probably much of it here in Southern California. It's best known for its knitwear. It does a lot of like alpaca knitwear, which is incredible. It's so expensive. It is an absolute bolo, so keep your eyes out for it. And I mean, this isn't gonna sell for too terribly much. It's just a t-shirt, it's just cotton. I think I'll probably see somewhere between $20 and $30 on this, which is, to be clear, high for a t-shirt. But if it was a sweater of any kind from Peruvian Connection, I'd probably be north of $100. And they definitely go up from there. So keep your eyes out for that brand. It's a pretty unassuming tag. I mean, if you see Peru in anything, you should probably pay attention because Peru is known for alpacas and alpaca's very expensive. So Peruvian Connection, bolo, anything from Peru, definitely worth a second look. Ooh, next up, this is another one that we found while we were there. I can't remember who grabbed this, but it's this little cardigan sweater. So first and foremost, you know, it was a feel thing because I'm pretty sure that this is mohair, but I also think that this is handmade. And knitting crew out there, please tell me what is this is not crochet, right? This is lace knit? Question mark? I swear I'll never know until I actually do this myself. But I thought it was so cute. There's no seams other than the shoulders, so it's completely one piece around, and then even the buttons are knit. They're just like little knots. And then I thought that the edge work was so pretty. So I'm not quite sure what this is. I'm almost positive that this is handmade, and you know, something handmade like this needs a new home, and 100% this will go fairly quickly. I've sold quite a few things like this. Pricing it is gonna be a real crapshoot, maybe somewhere between $30 and $40 because of the yarn and because of the delicacy, but let me know, what would you price this at? Because I always struggle with handmade things. And you know, a lot of what we do is making our best guess, but that's about what I've gotten for pieces like this. But either way, I will be happy to get this out of the waste stream and back into the hands of somebody who loves it because it is gorgeous. Next up, so this shirt I thought was so pretty. So when I get to my parents' house. I basically stay in my childhood bedroom, and as my mom is sourcing throughout the year, that's kind of where she just keeps everything. She just has stacks kind of in the corner. And we always take a couple hours one of the days that I'm there, and we go through it because I bring back 2 big suitcases, but those suitcases have weight limits on them before they become like extraordinarily expensive to bring home. So there's always some things that we kind of cull off. She'll pick up a bunch of things that we'll end up donating back. And this one, when she showed it to me, she was just like, you made me get this. Like, who wouldn't pick this up? It's silk. It's got beautiful hydrangea print on it. It's beaded. It's Bob Mackie wearable art. Yes, this is QVC, but this is the silk stuff. This is the good stuff. And one of you guys was saying that Bob Mackie wearable art in particular is having a bit of a moment. So I'm so interested to see how this moves. Because personally, I love it for the print. I love the colors. I love a green, black, and blue together. I think it's a really interesting floral. I think it's in beautiful condition. So I'm not quite sure what I'll get for this. Maybe somewhere $30 to $40, maybe a little bit more if it is having a bit of a trend moment. I just don't see a ton of it, so I haven't really dived in to like look at what current comps and pricing is. But I mean, just the fact that this is silk and floral and beaded and in great condition alone, I'm in. And it's a size large. Next up, this was one that my mom picked up, and I was like, I can't believe you found that. She's like, wait until you feel it. So this is a sweatshirt from Ghani. Now I do think that this is a little bit of an older sweatshirt, because the newer sweatshirt, they're kind of like an oversized tacked on tag, and the letters are all like sans serif, and it's usually, I think, down towards the bottom. I'll see if I can find a picture of it here. But this is definitely Ghani. It's made in, I think, Portugal. And it's just like a little hooded sweatshirt. The only bummer about this is that the split here, this has been cut by whoever owned it. So I'm not quite sure what I'll get for it because of that. But it's got this cute little embroidered heart match design on the chest, fully lined hood. Again, gorgeous quality fleece. Ghani's one of those brands. This is the first Ghani piece that I've ever come through my hands. It's one of those brands that I forget how unbelievably expensive it is. I went to look at prices for their sweatshirts, and they're like $300 to $400 for a hoodie. I just like, listen, I'm not above a splurge sweatshirt. I wear my sweatshirts all the time. For the right one, I will pay. You know, for the right ones, I'm willing to pay up. But I mean, I don't know how I could ever justify like $400 for a sweatshirt. I just don't understand that. But if this were in flawless condition, I could probably reasonably expect somewhere between $50 and $100 secondhand. But because this does have the cut, I'll probably see somewhere maybe $30 to $40. I'm not quite sure. There's no true sold comps to this, but still a trip for my mom to have stumbled upon a Ghani sweatshirt, right? Like, there is treasure everywhere, truly. Next up, this is a men's shirt, and again, we're going into that kind of resort wear season of the year. Once Christmas hits, once New Year's passes, I start to see crazy movement on warm weather stuff, so make sure you are starting to list that if you are somebody who does save things up to list. But anyway, this shirt is from Borgo 28, and again, this is something my mom picked up because it feels unbelievably well made, and it's this beautiful linen blend, and the details on this shirt are so interesting. Like, you've got these buttons, which I think are so cool. Like, around the rim of the button is like the surface of the shell, and it's kind of carved out of it, but like the level of like precision you need to do something like that on something as irregular as a shell is pretty alarming. If you've ever watched how buttons get made, like, I don't understand how this could work, but either way, that's gorgeous. And if you look underneath at the side of the placket where the buttons sit, it's got this really cool little detail. Again, I always say, look at the invisible details. If you see that a company has put a lot of details into parts of the garment that never get seen, just like this, like that's completely hidden when it's buttoned up, you can be pretty sure that it was a pricey item. So this is a size, first of all, 2XL. And again, the brand is Borgo 28. They retail like $150 to $200. And on the resale market, I'll probably see somewhere between like 30 and 50. That seems to be about what they're going for. But these like white linen shirts for men, these really like casual button down short sleeve shirts, always sell so well for me. They'll surprise me a lot of the time with how fast they do sell. So this is a new to me brand, and it's definitely intriguing, the level of detail, especially when it's something where at first glance it is a very like basic, but look a little bit closer and you see the details. And if you or somebody you know is looking for something like that, check out Borgo 28. The quality is outrageous, truly outrageous. Next up, we've got a little Banana Republic piece. This is a beautiful, first of all, this color is gorgeous. It's 100% merino wool. It's a size medium. It is a very basic kind of slim fit. I guess this is like a slim relaxed fit V-neck sweater. This is a great like layering sweater. This is something that I would use like closet staple, capsule wardrobe, also wear at work. Because this is a little bit more of a relaxed fit, a lot of people wear something like this with like a button-up shirt underneath. But this is in perfect condition. Banana Republic, again, this is the kind of stuff that if you are looking for these higher end basics, this like merino wool, I'll probably see somewhere like $30 to $35 on this, probably retailed like $150. So if you were in the market for something like merino wool sweaters, look at Banana Republic, because they sell, compared to retail price, quite a bit lower. I mean, it's still a good profit for resellers, especially for picking it up at the bins. But the quality on the stuff that comes out of Banana Republic is always so high. Like it's the one brand, them and J. Crew, honestly, to a little bit of a lesser extent. Personally, I think Banana Republic is a slightly better quality than J. Crew if you're looking at like the brand as a whole. It is the brand that I wish I could get every piece out of the waist stream because of how nicely it's made. But it's got to make sense for my business. So I am trying to figure out where in Banana Republic I can play, because I would love to pick up as much of that as humanly possible. Next up, oh, we've got this pretty sweater. This is from Quince. So it's just a soft gray ribbed turtleneck. This is their alpaca blend, and it is so soft. So it's 28% alpaca, 28% wool, and then 44% nylon. And it feels like alpaca can be like borderline prickly. So the nylon actually softens this up quite a bit. Now this doesn't sell for as much as their cashmere pieces do. I'm not quite sure what this is a dupe of. This sweater in particular, I think retailed for like $80, $79 or $80. Their cashmere is generally in like the 100. I think they go up to like $129 for the most substantial piece, but I think this is around the $80 mark. And with that being said, I'll probably see between like 30 and 40 on this. Again, butter soft, gorgeous color, great condition, and something I'll want to make sure that I get listed ASAP, because it is a pretty chunky sweater and we are creeping into beachwear season as resellers, which is wild. Next up was this cute little dress from Calvin Klein. Now, I've been picking up very selectively, and to be totally honest, I don't see a ton of them, but I've been picking up Calvin Klein dresses, and they have been selling surprisingly well for me. And to be totally honest, they were something that I skipped out on a lot of, because I always had this connotation of Calvin Klein dresses at like TJ Maxx and Marshalls, because that's where I always bought mine, you know, and I would get them for like 40 bucks. And in my mind, you know, 40 bucks, what's that gonna resell for? Like $10, $15. But they're also sold at Macy's, you know? They're like $150 to $200 at Macy's. And I've been pleasantly surprised, like time and time again, by these Calvin Klein dresses. So if you have the same weird connotation of seeing them at TJ Maxx and thinking that they're all 40 bucks, pick one up the next time you see it at the bins, because again, they've sold for great prices. But this one my mom picked up, and it is so stinking cute. So this is actually like textured cotton. I don't know how much you can see of that, but there's definitely like raised ridges where these stripes are. It has a really cool feel to it. It's tiered, it's high neck, it's fully lined. It's the most gorgeous blue color. It's a size, I think it's size 8. Yeah, size 8, perfect condition. I'll probably see somewhere between like $35 and $45 on this. That's about what I've seen on these Calvin Klein dresses. And some of them, one of them I just recently sold, I think sold for like $56. So let's not be sleeping on Calvin Klein dresses. Also, they're made so incredibly well. Along with that connotation of getting them at TJ Maxx, I always have this connotation of them as like some of the most indestructible garments ever made. Like I had this one little black dress that was my wedding guest dress for like every wedding that I went to for, it had to be years, 5-6 years. And when I ultimately sold it, which I think I sold it for like 55 bucks, it felt brand new. And that thing had seen like wear, use, abuse. When I go to a wedding, I'm on that dance floor like the whole time, right? So testament to Calvin Klein dresses. They are fantastic. Next up, my mom found a little We the Free piece. Again, these little basic We the Free pieces, always a pickup for me, especially when I see them in the bins. For whatever reason, they sell exceptionally well for me. Now this is a really unusual silhouette, but that kind of doesn't matter. These are some of the fastest selling things for me. If you look at like everything that I pick up and how long it takes to sell them, I would bet that these We the Free like basic t-shirts are amongst some of the fastest movers in my closet. And they always sell for a little bit more than I expect them to. I'll generally list them, like if I have just a basic t-shirt, this might be a little bit higher. I usually list them at like $32, and they generally sell between like 20 and 30, but the amount of these shirts that pop off as full price sales at $32 blows my mind. It just blows my mind, especially when it's the more basic than this kind of t-shirts. Again, this is a little bit more substantial, more in like the sweater territory. So this will probably go a little bit higher, but these We the Free shirts, guys, I know that they might seem insignificant and they might look really distressed, but that's kind of their shtick. So don't sleep on them. Don't go paying crazy amounts of money until you're sure about that. But if you see them in the bins, especially if you're in like a pay by weight bins situation where they cost like 50 cents, load up, please. Next up, she grabbed this super cute linen open weave sweater. This is from Tommy Bahama. Tommy Bahama is one of those brands that I feel like people bag on. It always sells quite well for me. I mean, listen, is it a huge seller in terms of like dollars? Not always. I've definitely had a few Tommy shirts that have sold for like over $100 because they were like collector's editions. So I would not look away from Tommy Bahama. And these kind of sweaters sell pretty well for me. I mean, again, am I going to be getting $50 for them? No. But will I get probably $25 to $35 for it? All day. All day I'll get that. And when you remember the fact that something like this was probably like $200 new, I mean, Tommy Bahama is just one of those brands that I rarely leave behind when I see it. Obviously, I check condition. I see a lot of Tommy Bahama shirts that have been absolutely worked. I think there's a lot of people out here, and I'm sure a lot of my viewers that live along the coast can kind of attest to seeing the same thing, especially in like warm weather areas, you know, Gulf Coast, down south, and like San Diego and whatever. You know, there are guys that live in their Tommy Bahama shirts. Like they wear their Tommy Bahama shirts like we wear a white t-shirt, you know? So it is something where you do always have to check condition, but don't automatically leave it behind because it's not selling for as high of a percentage of its retail price. But like the dresses, a lot of the all silk shirts, especially the vintage silk shirts, the limited editions, these things all sell quite well for me. So next up, now this is something that she grabbed that had no tag, but it's just, oh, I love it so much. So it is this taffeta skirt. So it's about midi length. It's kind of like a party skirt. The thing that's super cool about this is that it is completely reversible. So it goes from black to this khaki color. There are no tags, no markings anywhere on here. So when I go through and photograph this, I'll do some like Google image searches, see if I can figure out who made this. I mean, it's made beautifully. And what a great piece to have. If you're somebody who goes to like a lot of events, I mean, like having a twofer in a special occasion piece feels like a white whale. But I just thought that was super cool. No clue what I'll get for this. If I list this, you know, as is, if I can't figure out who made it, probably somewhere between like $20 and $30. But it feels really nice and it looks really chic. So maybe a little bit more, especially if I can figure out, you know, who made it. But what a cool find, right? Oh, this was a nice find. So she found this beautiful satin dress from Vince. It is a size extra small, but if you look at this, it feels kind of quite a bit bigger. It's definitely bias cut, so it's got actually quite a bit of room to it. It's midi length. It's this kind of like almost crinkly satin. I feel like it's losing the texture a little bit on the camera because it's like also wrinkled from being in the bag. But sold comps on this dress, and I found quite a few of them, are between like 40 and 75 bucks. So this was a great little find. Something that I'll use, you know, special occasion. This is cocktail dress. This is also very minimalist. This is something that can really go from like a daytime work application with like a blazer over it to a cocktail party, right? So it's really nice. And of course, Vince is just so expensive. This was probably $400 or $500 retail. So next up, she found a great little basic here, a Chico's 100% linen t-shirt. Again, it's that like pretty coral pink color. It's a size 2, so that is a size large. This is kind of an interesting fit. This is like a boxier fit. This is definitely a newer piece from Chico's. It's got the actual US size printed on the label. That's one of the tells that you can use to figure out if this is a newer piece or not. But this is in perfect condition. Again, kind of a boxier t-shirt, beautiful color. That's one of those like flattering on most skin tone colors. But something like this, I'll probably get between like $18 to $24 on it. It's about what I see for these kind of basic t-shirts. It's funny, this is the kind of stuff that I would probably leave behind here. I pay quite a bit more per item when it comes to something like this than my mom would back east. And she'll pick up a lot of pieces like that from, you know, like Chico's and Talbot's. I'm always so surprised at how fast they move for me. So definitely, if you're able to get them for like $1, if you're able to get them super cheap at the bins, you should be picking those up because they do move. People love their basics. Next up, we've got this cute little sweater. This is from Boden, which I love. Boden does a lot of these really kind of like retro style candy color. The thing I associate with Boden more than anything is the like candy colors of everything. And it's this really pretty burnt orange retro style short sleeve cardigan. It's got little ruffles here on the sleeve. It's a size 6. 100% cotton, and something like this I'll get between like 25 and 32 on, and I love Boden. This is the older Boden label. The newer label is white with like a block letter Boden on it, but I do not see Boden often at all out here. And maybe this is a regional thing. I love it. It always sells really, really well for me, even the older stuff. Obviously the newer stuff sells better and faster, but even the older stuff sells really well for me. And I feel like I never, ever see it. Now, I rarely see it in the bins. I rarely see it in the thrift, ever. But when I'm outside of this area, I see it all the time. So I don't know what the deal is there, but let me know if you see it a lot, like if it's one of the brands that you see frequently, like a lot of people see like Chico's. Let me know where you are, because I want to know if there's an area of the country where this is concentrated. I feel like my first instincts would say that it's probably the eastern, like the northeast, like New England and kind of the southeast. That's kind of the vibe that it gives me, but I see almost none of it out here, so. Next up, we've got another little Boden piece here, this cute little red and white striped sweater, lightweight. It's a size medium, again, 100% cotton, super duper cute. Something like this, probably somewhere between like 25 and 32. And following right in with that kind of candy colored vision that I have for it. I feel the same way about mini Boden. And I always love the way that they play with color in their kids' clothes. It's very like joyful. Next up, we've got another vintage silk blouse here. This one's from Jonathan Martin, another brand that I've sold quite a few pieces of. This is a peach long sleeve, high band collar, button down blouse. It's got the most delicate little shoulder pads in it. I love these vintage, super slimline shoulder pads. You know, I came up in the 80s, so when I think about shoulder pads, I'm thinking like shoulder pads to the gods. This is probably more indicative of what people wore on the daily basis. But again, something like this I'll see $30 to $40 on all day long. It's a size small, so it's definitely an oversized fit. When I was talking earlier in the video about Anna and Frank and how that shirt was a little bit more casual than I'm used to seeing, this is the kind of shirt that I'm used to seeing from Anna and Frank, and they always sell very well. I think that these go to office workers. I think that people really love this kind of stuff for office work, and it's in beautiful condition and a really pretty color. While we're on the topic of silk, we've got this beautiful boxy silk shirt from Everlane. You best believe I wish that this was my size, but this, believe it or not, I think this is a size small. It's a size 2, so technically an extra small. So it's a very boxy, oversized fit. It's this really pretty, like, French blue. Everlane was one of the first brands that really went hard at direct-to-consumer in a really, like, transparent supply chain. They do it really well, and, like, as a marketer, the way that they communicate kind of their mission, I've always used it as an example as a brand who's done it really, really effectively. I think that they do a really nice job of it. And I love their stuff. Their stuff is beautifully made. Good bang for your buck. It's not cheap. It's still expensive, but if you were to see this in like a Neiman Marcus, it would cost 4 times as much. Something like this being silk, I'll probably see somewhere around like 30 to 45. I've had good results with their silk pieces, so excited to find this. I think it's in great condition. The only thing that'll slow it down, unfortunately, is the fact that it's a size 2, despite the fact that I think that this could easily fit up to like a size 6. This is a pretty wide boxy cut, so a good find regardless. Next up, she found one of the James Purse shirts. Now, we kind of sniffed out, one of you guys kind of chimed in when I asked about it. This shirt in particular, I've sold, I don't know, probably 8 of them at this point. They always, I mean, within days. This shirt in particular, so it's a lightweight cotton lawn front with kind of like a utility style pockets. And the telltale sign here is always this stretch rib knit panel that goes under the arms and down the side. So it gives you like the snatched, skin tight look of a shirt, but it gives you like range of motion with those stretch panels. And one of you guys had chimed in and said that Jennifer Aniston's been photographed a lot wearing this shirt. And that really tracks. I know that she wears James Purse a lot with like her basics. Her t-shirts are always James Purse, her white button downs are always James Purse, but I will see probably about $45 for this in, I don't know, a day or two, almost certainly. And that has been my experience over and over again. And the funny thing is this one feels really good condition. The last one that I found felt almost brand new, but I've also found these where they have been like a size 4, which is a size extra large in James Purse, and they've looked about this size. And they sell, and I get good reviews on them. It's wild. It is wild. They feel like absolutely nothing but quick sellers for a great price. If you see these, comfortably pay up for them, even if your thrift store has jacked up the price of something like this to like 10 or 15 bucks, because you will get your money back, and you will get your money back quick. So next up, another cute little top from J. Jill. These little floral tops do pretty well for me. Just like a lightweight cotton mixed pattern, very boho. And I think the thing that sells stuff like this is the fact that it's got that mixed pattern. This is a size small, which will probably slow it down, unfortunately, with it being J. Jill. Again, J. Jill is just one of those brands that sells better at like size large and up. But this kind of top, I've sold quite a few different brands of a top that looks like this with the mixed patterns, the button down, the lightweight cotton. And they always sell really well, even in the smaller sizes. There's something to that. I need to dig into the data, but there is something magic to these like mixed print shirts that really do move them even at smaller sizes. So probably somewhere between $20 and $30 on that one. This one was a style pickup that she grabbed, and this is from Olivacious, which is a boutique brand. And 2 things she loved about it. Number 1, the print. And I agree. I absolutely love this like photorealistic floral print on the white background. And she also grabbed it because of these like over the top bell sleeves. So this would be something that you could wear for like a swim cover up. This is something that could be like a little party shirt, but again, resort wear, romantic, resort wear, 2 separate words, swim cover up, bathing suit cover up, boho, bohemian, festival. It's got a lot of keywords that you can use, and visually it's just really pretty. Now, it's Olivacious. I don't think I'm gonna get a ton of money on it, but I'll probably see somewhere between like 15 and 24 on it. It is just so cute, and I love, love, love this print. It feels very like Gucci to me. Like obviously it's as far from Gucci as you're gonna get, but the style of print feels very Gucci to me. Next up, we've got another cute little J. Jill top. This is a little gauze striped boho top. I don't know if you can see this, but there's a little bit of like lurex thread Now you see it. So it's this cute little boho top. This feels very Sundance to me. I feel like I've had a couple tops from Sundance that have a very similar neckline, but it's a size XL. And again, you use, you know, boho and bohemian. You've got beachy and coastal and resort wear. This kind of fits into all of those categories. Again, something I'll see probably between like $20 and $30 on. And being a size XL, it'll probably go on the quicker side because the larger sizes in J. Jill are more desirable. So cute little top. Next up, oh, this is such a pretty top. Gonna be a tough one to be able to show, but this is a button front shirt and it's got this really like high tie neck. I have it tied here, but this is from Ann Mashburn. And Ann Mashburn is a really high-end designer. This probably retailed in the several hundreds of dollars. You can kind of see the silhouette there. It's like a boxy button-down shirt in this like whisper blush. And it's this like heavyweight silk. Like this is 100% silk, but it's so thick. It's like a silk crepe. It's got the most beautiful drape to it. But on the resale market, pieces similar to this, I haven't found this exact one, but similar pieces to this sell between like $50 and $100. So pretty. Probably something that I'm gonna photograph on the mannequin. It's a little bit hard to show a neckline like this without actually having a neck for it to go around, just because it's so heavy, it'll weigh it down on a hanger. But a gorgeous find and something that, you know, my mom picked up just because of the feel of it. This is just such a dreamy fabric. And such a beautiful color. Again, something, you know, this is very springy, but we are right around the corner from that springtime shopping. But what a find. Oh, this was so funny. So my mom grabbed this and she's like, Julia, those shoulders are leather. This is just like a little raglan cap sleeve top, but it's from a Pea in the Pod. Now, I don't see a ton of a Pea in the Pod, but they're pretty expensive, but it is a maternity brand. And she did not know that this was a maternity shirt. And honestly, like there's no ruching here in the midsection, so it would be pretty hard to tell. I'm gonna guess that this is for like, you know, your early trimesters. This is not for your third trimester because this would be a full-on belly shirt, unless that's what you're going for, in which case, you know, you do you. But the little leather sleeves, super cute. Not quite sure what I'll get for something like this. I typically would only pick up like dresses from a Pea in the Pod, just because those are the kind of things that people like to really buy secondhand, because they tend to be one-time use, even more so than like regular special occasion dresses. Because while you'll buy yourself a small capsule of like kind of everyday wear stuff, most people are only going to like maybe one event while they're pregnant, right? So that's kind of where I like to play with maternity. So maybe somewhere, you know, $25 on that, mostly because of the leather sleeves, but we'll find out. We are almost down to the bottom of this first bag and the first half of her haul. I want to say that all in there's like 98 pieces. It was a lot of stuff. This is a cute little chambray shirt, little denim chambray shirts sell very well for me. This is Chico's. Great condition. It is a size 1, so it's a size medium, I believe. Yeah, US size medium. It is a newer piece because it's got the letter size on the tag, but something like this all day long. I sell these chambray shirts. They're such good closet staples. They are able to be worn office applications, brunch applications, and they're definitely pretty dang timeless. So something like this I'll see that like $25 to $32 range on. I'm interested to see how fast this sells because of the size. I've sold a bunch of very similar shirts from Chico's, but they've all been like large, extra large, 2XL. So we'll see how this does, but it's in like perfect condition, so. Next up, we've got a little vintage 90s Tommy Hilfiger button-down shirt. Every time I see the crest, that little crest that's down there below the pocket, I am just reminded of junior high, because that was such a flex. Such a flex to have the Tommy Hilfiger shirt with the crest under the pocket. It's a yellow striped shirt. It's a size large, and I'm not gonna lie, I might keep this for myself. I love an oversized striped Oxford. I wear them all the time, and I don't have a yellow one. I've got 2 green, I've got 2 blue, I have no yellow. This is one of the kind of icy pastels that I can wear really well, so I'm pretty sure that this is gonna stay with me. If I end up selling it, I mean, it'll probably go for like $20, $25. The real in-demand vintage Tommy pieces are really bold, red, white, and blue. A lot of like the color block ones, the flag print. Something like this wouldn't sell for all that much, but the quality is fantastic, and the color is great, and the condition is fantastic, and it's like the oversized fit that I love, so thanks, Mom. We are getting there, just 3 more pieces in this bag here. So this was a pair of pants that she picked up because she's like, they felt so nice. And I had never heard of the brand before in my life, and that is Brax. Please let me know if you are familiar with this, but retail price on these is like $170. The fabric is like lightweight cotton. It's super crisp. But the thing I like about it is it looks, and it's not textured, but it looks like it is actually textured. The way that this is printed, I think it is printed to look like it's got texture to it. But the style is the Cooper. There's no size tag in here, so I'm gonna have to get measurements on it. But sold comps on this brand are between like $35 and $70 depending on what you have. So this is for sure something that I also would have picked up if I saw it in the bins, just because it's really unusual and the quality is gorgeous. But I'll have to do a little bit more research on it, learn a little bit about what Brax is, what they do. But let me know if you're familiar. They are German and they're high-end, and you know, German construction is always like exceptional. So an exciting find and a new brand for us to keep our eyes out for. I'll report back when these sell. I'm really interested to see how well that they do. 2 more pieces and they are zingers. So the first one is this beautiful silk robe, and it's this gorgeous royal blue. It's got this pretty floral panel here in the front, the little bit of a lace detail. Look at this sleeve. I am obsessed. I've never seen a sleeve like this. This is the top of the sleeve. Typically you'll see the point kind of on the bottom of the sleeve, so it gives that kind of like long spilling effect, but this has the point up at the top. It's got the belt, which we all know how rare it is to find the belt in the bins. The brand on this is Xinyuan. I'm sure I'm butchering that. I'm going to assume that this is like a Chinese brand that is made for the Chinese market, but the quality is beautiful. It's like a royal blue silk robe like this. I've sold robes like this with no tags whatsoever in them. So I'll do a little bit more research. For all I know, it's a higher end designer, but this is just gorgeous, perfect condition, blue silk robe. So an absolute must pick up, right? Like you could never leave this behind. I'm not quite sure what I'll get for it. Again, it could end up being like a higher end designer, but probably somewhere just going on what it is between like 35 and 50. It's about what I get for silk robes. So color me happy there. And speaking of silk robes, another one that she found, and this one's from La Perla. This is a brand I do know. So La Perla is a very high-end lingerie designer. They're more known for like their lingerie than pieces like this in this gorgeous like rust color. The only bummer here is that it is missing the belt. However, it kind of doesn't need the belt because it closes with a little button. So it's got the internal tie to keep it together here, and then it's got this little button that keeps it closed over the front. So I'm gonna guess that whoever had this wore this without the belt. Like personally, I'm somebody who's very short-waisted, so most of the time when there is a belt on a robe, it is way too low. Like it's kind of like mid-bum for me. So I either have to kind of like hike it up and then it's like really blousy over the top, or I have to wear it like that and it just fits awkward. It doesn't feel comfortable. Like I am 87% leg and like 13% torso. So I can 100% understand if you have an alternate way of closing a robe. Although most of the robes that I do use are unisex, so that could be part of it, but I'm interested to see how this does. It's got pockets, it's beautifully made. The silk is an absolute dream, but without the belt, that is going to affect resale. Wow, the interesting thing, I'm looking at this, there's only one belt loop. That's the only belt loop on the entire robe. There's no belt loops on the side, it's just that one on the back, so I'm gonna do a little research. That's a little unusual. But either way, if this were flawless and like intact with the belt, I probably see like over $100 for this, but as is, I'll probably see somewhere around like $40. There's still absolutely value to it. It's still a stunning robe. It's still La Perla, you know, it's still a status robe, but what a stunning find, right? Just gorgeous. All right, so that is it for my mom's finds. And I just have a few more pieces that I found at the thrift store this week. I figured I'd just roll it all in since I found them in this week. And the first piece I found was this gorgeous dress. And I did not know this brand at all, but I mean, you see something like this and it's 100% cotton. This is all cotton. This is cotton. The lace is cotton. You can feel that. It's beautifully made. And the brand on this is, I'm going to butcher this, Banuni by Giotti. I apologize to whoever owns this brand because I'm sure I butchered it. but it's made in India. It's in gorgeous condition. And this is a brand, they have sold some dresses, and I think that this dress in particular was sold at Anthropologie, but the retail on their dresses are like $350 to $400. Resale value on this dress in particular, like sold comps, are around the $100 range. So a gorgeous find, and again, like right in the right time, because this is such a vacation dress. I think I paid $8.99 for this one. So definitely a gorgeous little piece. Next up, this was an exciting find. This one I'm keeping for myself. This is a brand that I have just had on my radar forever and ever, and they are at least Japanese inspired. And they make the most gorgeous towels and robes, and this is from Onsen. Guys, keep your eyes out for it. This is one of those brands that just under the radar, but people who know it love it. But it's a hooded robe. It's in this like chunky waffle, and I would like to live in this immediately. So I paid $7 for this. Again, it's for me, so I don't really care because retail on this is about $250. And the unfortunate thing about this is that it's missing the belt, which I don't really mind because the robe I'm going to be replacing with this is dark gray. So I'll just take the belt from that, no big deal. But if this were intact and if I were to sell it, this would be somewhere in like the $50 to $100 range. So definitely an exciting find for me anyway. This is one of those brands that I've wanted to find. I would love to find some of their towels, but I mean, I just kind of knew exactly what this was when I saw one of the arms kind of sticking out. Like I know what this texture is because I've been eyeing up this brand forever. Next up, I grabbed this cute little skirt. This is Wearables from XCVI. And these skirts, these kind of like ruched midi skirts from them, sell so well. I think the last one that I had sold for like $40, somewhere in that range. They're not super expensive retail, so they sell for a good chunk of their retail value, but this is the label. So it's Wearables, and this is by XCVI, which is another brand you should be keeping your eyes out for. I kind of famously lament this brand because I know I passed up on several pieces of it at the bins over the years before I figured out that it is a brand that's very in demand. I ended up picking up like a linen log and look style skirt, and it sold in like a day. And especially with the skirts, I have a really good track record in terms of sales. So I think I cut the tag off of this one already, but this one was half off. So I think that this was $3.50. So I'll probably see, you know, somewhere north of 30 bucks for this. And oh my goodness, a roller coaster ride here. So I saw this little peak of silk sticking out, and the first thing I thought of was the dress from 13 going on 30. So I pull it out and it feels pretty Y2K. This is silk, this is definitely wool, like quality on this is nice. And then I saw this and I kind of squealed and just like immediately threw it into my basket and checked out and went home. I paid $7, no, this was half off. So I paid $3.50 for this. And I get it home and I start looking it up, and I didn't even question it while I was there, and I probably should have. And when I looked at the inside tag, I'm like looking kind of for the telltale signs, and I'm seeing some good things, but when I go into the second page, the first thing I saw was Industries, and I'm like, you have got to be kidding me, because that is a Moncler tag. So this is obviously fake. This is obviously very fake. I'm very confused as to why they have a tag from Moncler in a Saint Laurent blouse. I don't know. I'm very confused. I kind of want to like keep hold of this and dig into it a little bit more. Like the quality is nice. Like this is like a merino wool rib knit. Like I just sold a vintage Dolce & Gabbana sweatshirt that had rib cuffs that felt just like this. This is definitely like Y2K. I need to know more about this. I need to know more about why they have a Saint Laurent tag and a Moncler inner tag. Like what were these people doing? What was this factory doing? Also, if memory serves me right, they changed from Yves Saint Laurent to Saint Laurent. Was it 2012? Anyway, I need to know more about this just for my own funsies, right? But talk about a roller coaster ride that went off the rails, unfortunately. And finally, the find of the day, I saw this gorgeous like lemon yellow quilting sticking out. Of course, it's texture, it's an unusual color. I'm gonna take a peek at it, and then I saw that and I knew immediately what this was. So this is a Burberry quilted coat, so it's buttoned down. It's got the Novacek inside. It's got this Hong Kong bound interior with the contrast of the yellow, which I love. Quality is gorgeous. The Novacek under the collar here. I did all the authenticity checks. All the buttons are engraved. This is beautifully made, so this is absolutely legit. And of course I found several other of this jacket specifically sold. This is just such an unusual color, so my biggest struggle here is like capturing it. But either way, sold comps on this are between like $150 to $300. So I paid, I want to say that this, I cut the tag off of this one already, but I think that this one was $16, like $15.99, which when you see a Burberry jacket, you pay the $15. Like that's money well spent. So very, very, very exciting find to cap this all up. But guys, that is it. That is the first half of this massive haul. Retail price, because I'm a nerd about this, not counting the stuff that I got at the regular thrift store, because that would change it kind of significantly with this jacket. But retail value on everything that she picked up is about $16,000, which is absolutely insane. And in terms of resale value over like the, whatever it is, 98 pieces that she has, I think I'm gonna have somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. So definitely a great haul. Stay tuned for part 2. She found some really cool vintage things that I cannot wait to share with you. But guys, thank you so much for hanging with me and nerding out about these things. It always makes me so happy to know that there are like other people out there into the same weird stuff that I am. And I appreciate each and every one of you taking a little bit of your time to hang with me. But guys, if you had fun, please consider leaving a like or comment on this video. Of course, don't forget to hit subscribe. I would love to have you along on this journey. All of that helps me out so much with YouTube. But without further ado, guys, I hope you have the most beautiful week. Happy hunting, and I will see you all in the next one.